Longing, director Xavi Gabason's English-language debut, starts relatively well before slowly losing its way. With Richard Gere in the role of aged businessman Daniel Block, who learns from his ex-lover that he has a 19-year-old son named Alan, he's alarmed and quickly tries to call a lawyer before he finds out the boy died before they ever had a chance to meet. As the story progresses, Daniel tries to uncover the mystery of his son's existence, and there are moments of real poignancy, but the tone is off overall, the characters' reasonings are baffling, and the execution is uncomfortable. It appears that something essential has been lost in translation, as Longing is a remake of Gabason's acclaimed film Gere, which gained praise on the film festival circuit. Within Longing, there is a touching story about an absent father trying to make up for lost time, but Gere's star power only served to impede upon its emotional impact as Daniel's baffling behavior and reasoning torpedoed this film's once promising potential. Sadly, what worked so well in Gere felt downright absurd in Longing, a disappointing development that's often the case when directors remake their own movies for a broader audience. Longing links absurdity and grief, but it quickly unravels. Richard Gere delivers a reserved performance in a baffling story. After Daniel's old flame, Rachel, Suzanne Clement, tells him about his son, he travels to Canada for the funeral and sticks around to gain insight into the child he never knew. Here, Daniel meets a friend of Alan's who suspiciously tries to extort $5,000 from him, his questionably young 16-year-old girlfriend, and his teacher Alice, Diane Kruger, who Alan was infatuated with and about whom he filled notebooks of poetry. With these disparate hints at Alan's complex existence, Daniel feels a fatherly connection and kinship to the boy whose life he wishes he could have been involved in. Gere's performance is understated and reserved, as his character growth throughout the story appears to come in inexplicable bursts as he melds from a detached businessman into a curious absent father and, finally, the flag-bearer of Alan's legacy. Kruger is the other main player here, whose teacher-student relationship with Alan crossed more than a few boundaries. Her ultimate role in Alan's demise becomes yet another detail for Daniel to fixate on. A major theme of Longing is the connection between absurdity and grief, but this idea switches into hyperdrive when Daniel connects with another mourning father in the graveyard where Alan was buried. Upon learning that this grieving parent had a daughter around Alan's age, Daniel reflects that maybe things could have been different if the two of them had met, fallen in love, and were able to support one another. Daniel then starts planning a wedding for these two deceased young people he never met, and this is the moment Longing truly falls apart. Daniel's deranged wedding plans could have been a thematic springboard to address the sometimes unreasonable whims of those deep in grief, but Longing never really digs into this part of its storyline. Instead, after some brief questioning from other characters like Alan's mother, stepfather, and the young girl's grieving parents, they go along with his perplexing plan to honor his son's legacy. As Daniel waxes lyrical about the internal emotional life of his son, he's seemingly oblivious to the fact that they never met or spoke and that he didn't even know his son existed until a few days prior.